Spurgeon here with RevZilla TV to talk to you today about the R&G Axle Sliders available at RevZilla.com. So R&G Axle Sliders are going to do a great job keeping your axle safe, but really what they're designed to do is keep your brake caliper safe and your fork tube safe in the event of a crash. So if you're out there on a pricey motorcycle, you don't want to have to worry about those components being damaged. This is really going to work great for you guys out there on sport bikes, dual sport bikes, sport touring bikes. There's a wide range of applications. You want to make sure you're using the bike finder on our website to get the right kit for your bike. Once you get the right kit for your bike, install on this is going to be a 1 out of 3 on our BSD, our beard scale difficulty for installation. You're looking at about 15 to 20 minutes per axle and a few hand tools to get this installed. We'll talk more about install at the end, but right now let's jump in and talk about what sets these axle sliders apart from some of the other sliders out there in the market. So R&G has been manufacturing high-end race protection components for almost 20 years. These guys have done it really well on the track, and all of that carries over to really great protection for you street riders as well. So what you're going to see starting on my right-hand side and working our way down is a wider range of different applications for each individual bike out there. So we've got protection for the BMW F800 GT. This is going to be a sport touring bike. In the middle of the table, we've got the Suzuki GSX-R sliders right here. Then we've also got the ones for the multi-strada sport to sport touring bike in the middle. And then over on my left-hand side, this is for a Honda CBR 600, really more of a race-oriented bike. So R&G is really going to run the gauntlet to give you protection no matter what you're riding. I like that. I like the fact that they're not just kind of limiting their selections to race motorcycles. So what you're going to see when we're looking at the construction here, they're going to use stainless steel in all of their design. And this is really going to hold up to that impact, and it's also going to kind of bend and flex so it's not going to just snap off. It's really going to be that nice extra layer of protection you need. Then what we're looking at is the actual slider themselves. These sliders are going to be the same as their frame sliders. It's that HDPE. It's that high density polyethylene. And what's really cool about this, and again, the same way we see it with their frame sliders, it acts as a brake. This has a really high friction property. So when you're sliding, this is going to actually wear down and slow the motorcycle down, slow your crash down, so you come to a stop a little bit sooner. In the end, it's just going to do its best to keep you safe and keep your bike safe in the event of a crash. Only real little nitpick that I have with this, and I want to point it out, where they have these mounted, they have the bolts right on the edge. We're going to see this from a couple different manufacturers, and this is a downside only because if you're really sliding along, you can wear that bolt down and then it becomes really hard to get this off. In most cases, you're going to have to cut it off. Now, frankly, I think that's a small price to pay, so while it is a nitpick, it's a very small nitpick. If this keeps my bike safe, that's good enough for me. Now, depending on which bike you have, you're going to have a couple of different mounting options. Look at the entire table here. Most of these sliders are going to have that nice stainless steel rod that's going to go through your entire axle, and it's going to bolt down on either side. In some cases, they're going to replace OEM bolts, and they're going to give you everything you need to do that. In the case of the GSX-R sliders that you see here in the middle, these are simply going to mount on top of existing OEM hardware. So depending on what bike you have, it really is going to change how you mount these to your bike. If you have any doubts or any questions, we're going to have the installation guides for all of these products on the individual product pages. So feel free to read through the instructions ahead of time. What we're really looking at though is a 1 out of 3 on our BSD, our beard scale difficulty for installation. That means that using some simple hand tools in your garage, about 15 to 20 minutes per axle, you're going to take off the hardware you need to take off, you're going to slide these on, bolt them into place, and you're going to be ready to ride. There's a lot of folks out there using R&G products on their motorcycles. If you want to hear more about what they have to say, do me a favor, click below. Read other riders' opinions about the R&G sliders they have set up on their specific bikes. More questions for us? Never hesitate, get in the phone, give us a call, 877-792-9455, or simply type us out an email, cs@revzilla.com. Thank you for joining us for this look at the R&G Axle Sliders. I'm Spurgeon. Enjoy the ride.